I just got back from doing some drone photography for morning sunrise, and I am not a morning person. I mean, I guess I am a little bit, but I just prefer to sleep. I mean, honestly, the sun temperature and quality I feel like is not as good in the morning as it is at sunset. So it is what it is. But I did meet a nice person that I had a good conversation with, and now I'm gonna have some coffee. I have coffee from yesterday that I'm gonna heat up, so sort of cheating. Might make some new coffee. And after I got my coffee made, I went back out and started filming again a little bit later in the morning. And I'm still working out the filters for the drone, but I was able to bump up the colors and do some post editing of the video content that I got, and ended up pulling out some pretty good footage. You can check that out on my other YouTube station, Elemental Aerial Photography, and that's with Elemental and Aerial smushed together in one word. There's also another guy that's trying to do my thing, but I'll leave links below and in the description. So the rest of this day was pretty interesting. I was flying the DJI Mini 4 Pro, and it got pretty darn windy, and I had to bring the drone down. Didn't get too much footage, but I got enough, and I got somewhat of the shot that I wanted to get, and I definitely want to come back to this area. So it's kind of tricky to film in the White River drainage because it's actually bordered by two different wilderness areas, and you can only fly up to the border of those wilderness areas. You can't fly within them. So it was really important that I kind of kept things in check and didn't fly around too much, but I did get some good angles, and I'm pretty happy with the end result. So I want to tell you a little bit about the geology and cultural history of this area. It is a really powerful place. Here we are looking into the White River drainage on the southeast flank of Mount Hood. It's such a vivid landscape shaped by volcanic, glacier, and river action over time. The valley was sculpted by glaciers in the climate of the last ice age. High on the mountain, you can see the glacial trough carved out, a broad U-shaped valley with moraines and erratics marking where the ice once pushed and melted. At still a higher elevation lies the White River Glacier, which continues to feed meltwater and sediment into the stream below. Beneath all that lies a volcanic story. Mount Hood's flows, lahars, which are volcanic mud and debris flows, and pyroclastic layers. The valley floor and side slopes hold layers of volcanic and glacial activity. The corridor contains what the planning documents call evidence of volcanic activity, ghost forests, an active fumarole field, active mountain glacial activities, and much more. As you can look across the alluvial flats downstream, which some of my videos will show, you'll notice the broad expanse of sand, gravel, and boulders. These are the signature of past debris flows and glacial outwash that continues to shape the drainage. The hydrology of this area is super interesting. The White River begins up high. It's fed by the glacial melt from the White River Glacier, rainfall, and steep tributaries. In summer and early fall, the river often carries a heavy load of fine glacial flour and silt, giving it a pale or milky appearance. The hydrology here can be dramatic. Steep slopes, unconsolidated sediments, and glacial water mean the system's prone to sudden debris torrents and large sediment-laden flows. Rather than just a gentle stream flow, this area is kind of a beast sometimes. One particularly significant event occurred in November of 2006 when intense rainfall over 6 days, it was more than 13 inches, combined with warm temperatures, glacial melt, and steep saturated slopes, caused a major debris flow in this drainage. That's what these pictures are for. That torrent carried enormous volumes of sand, gravel, boulders, mud, and glacial ice down the valley. Road and bridge, the Highway 35 crossing, were heavily impacted. These photos are from the Wy'East blog. Thank you for that. But when you see the broad gravel flats and sediment fans, you're looking at a legacy of big floods, glacial outwash, and an ongoing reshaping of the valley. The indigenous use of this area is a little sparse information-wise. Before European settlement, this mountain drainage was within traditional lands of plateau culture people, including the Confederated Tribes of the Warm Springs. Ethno-historical and archaeological evidence shows that the native peoples traveled, hunted, fished, gathered plants and materials throughout the valley corridor of the White River. The steep slopes and floodplain channels may not have been easy terrain, but the stream and its valley provided resources and links in a larger seasonal circuit. There was definitely more use down valley for sure. This area was probably used a lot for ceremonial purposes. As you look at the land today, the glacial channels, the river flats, the ancient forests recovering from disturbance, you're seeing land that has sustained many generations of human use and adaptation. What you're witnessing here is just a dynamic landscape where volcanoes built the mountain, glaciers carved the valley, rivers continue to move sediment, and humans have appreciated and adapted to the terrain over time. This mountain, known today as Mount Hood, has a much older name of Wy'East. Wy'East comes from the indigenous peoples of the Columbia River Plateau, including the Multnomah, Wasco, Wishram, and Warm Springs tribes. It's more than a name, it's the spirit of the mountain itself. According to tribal stories, Wy'East is a powerful being who, along with his brother, Peto, and the maiden Luit, transformed into the Cascade volcanoes as a lesson in balance and respect. Wy'East stands tall and proud as a guardian of the land, a living presence that embodies the mountain's strength, history, and sacredness. When we call it Wy'East, we honor not just the peak, but a deep cultural significance and spiritual connection that has existed through generations. Flipping it around to me. I did some drone flying this morning and I think I got the shot that I wanted. I've been thinking about this shot for a really long time and I'm hoping that it worked out. I flew up the river drainage a little bit and flew to where I'm pretty sure like just before the wilderness boundary. So yeah, got a good angle on the debris flow here from the river off the mountain, and that's what I wanted. So we'll see. I'll look back at it. I'm still messing around with the filters. The ND filters on the drone are a little bit particular with the lighting, so it's definitely an intuition I haven't dialed in completely just yet, but I'm working on it. It definitely wasn't too bad. I might be able to clean it up in processing and reduce some of the highlights. So yeah, happy about it. And I've been filming a little bit on this Insta 360 X5 as well, and trying to get a little more comfortable with this format. For me, doing like a vlogging thing, it's all about getting out of my comfort zone and deconditioning the little bit of lazy and procrastination and not wanting to be seen that I have. It's just my natural tendency. Yeah, I'm not a lazy person, but the get up and go is hard for me. I'm not an early riser. I definitely appreciate slow roll, but I'm very ambitious, and I feel like that vibe has been holding me back a little bit. So doing the vlogging really like minimizes that. It kind of cuts it up and forces me to get out there and do something that I might not particularly want to do. It's not that I'm not interested, but just like the motivation to do it is just not always there. So deconditioning that overall block to motivation and block to the rollout is what the vlogging is about for me. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, this is what I've been looking at. I don't know if you can see it, the mountain behind me. It's a wide angle lens. Oh yeah, it's right on top of my head there. It's a wide angle lens, so definitely not telephotoing anything. I'm a little reluctant to bring out my telephoto lens just because I've got a ton of pictures of Mount Hood and Wy'East, and it's just the lighting is nothing special today, and I'd end up messing around with it in post for too long. So just playing around with the other tools and getting to know them. The Insta 360 on the selfie stick is definitely very new to me, so just enjoying getting to know that vibe. Yeah, have a good day, and I'll check back with all you guys and hopefully be uploading this into montage, which includes some aerial footage of the exact shot that I wanted. Hopefully, we'll see. Bye.